And Tradecraft Trading here, back. It's been a while, I've been away a little bit, but now I've got a couple trades to show you for today, March 12th, 2019. So there's only about 23 minutes left in the, a little less than 23 minutes left in the trading day, but I had two trades today that I wanted to show you. One ended up just being a push trade, and that's when we get right into it. That's this right here. That's STLD, Steel Dynamics. So you can see it was up on the day, and this showed up in a new high scan that I have. Trade Ideas software. I have a new high scan that looks for stocks that are making new highs on the day, and you can see it was moving up pretty quickly throughout the beginning of the day. And I got in right here, pulled back a little, and then it popped again up. And I said, all right, it looks like sellers tried to bring it down, and it was buyers winning out in the end. So I got in, you can see right away it kind of pulled back again, and then it started moving up. And I got in right here, you can see the little marker for where I got in. That was 36.36, I think. And then I was looking for it to get up to about, I think I put a line up here, yeah, 36.62. And it pulled within about 10 cents, and I didn't take any profits because I really wanted to hit my first target first. But you can see what happened here. Got to 52 right here, and that big red candle, and I stayed in it. But then what happened? Well, you can see what happened. It went back up again and then failed again. Now right there, that told me this is not good. This means sellers are starting to wear down the buyers, because sellers had a big push here on this 5-minute candle at noon, and then buyers started bringing it back up to where it was, and then sellers won again. So as it started moving down, I put my stop right above where I got in, and I ended up getting out at 36.40, so only a 4-cent gain, so tiny profit there. But yeah, so that was disappointing, and you can see what happened. It kind of did the same thing again. It kind of moved up again. Sellers took it down, getting close to this line, which is VWAP, volume weighted average price. So it just kind of moved sideways for a while. So it ended up being just like not a great trade, but not a horrible trade either, because I didn't lose any money on it. But now you can see maybe kind of bottoming out now. So yeah, so this ended up just being a nothing trade. But a lot of the times when you see this pullback and then another bounce off of the here, you can see this is my another 5-minute chart, and this is the 8 EMA exponential moving average and the 20 SMA, which I use together. A lot of times when they cross each other, it results in a change in direction of the stock. And also when you see stocks moving nice and smoothly with the 8 EMA, it makes for an easier jump into the stock, so you can get into it easier because you know it's following nice and smoothly that 8 EMA. You see here, that wasn't the case here, but one other reason that I got in, look at the yearly moving average, you could see that it was down a few days ago and kind of bottomed out here, and then yesterday, big green candle here, and it opened above where it closed yesterday, and it started moving up. So I said, hey, you know, this could be good. Maybe I'll ride this back up to possibly this 20 SMA on the daily chart. These are all daily candles, obviously, but it just didn't happen. So the second trade I made of the day was much more beneficial, and I'll show you. I made that much later in the day. I got in at around 125, and that was Monster Beverage. So for all you caffeine freaks out there, this showed up in my bouncing through VWAP scan. And I call it that because what it looks for, I designed the scan myself, what it looks for is stocks that are down in the day and looking to come back up, and they're just moving through VWAP. A lot of times that'll be the deciding factor. I should call it a VWAP pivot, because a lot of times I'll take trades from the scan that, and I'll show you the scan right here. I'll take trades from the scan that are hitting their head on VWAP and they can't break through it, or they break through and then fail, and that means they're probably going to keep failing. So I'll take shorts on trades like that. It's been working really well for me, this particular scan that I've designed. So I'll look for, where did I get it? So I got alerted right here, 133. Was that about it? No, I got in before that. So it was, so at 115 it showed up, and it might have showed up earlier. I'm not going to bother looking because I got in at 125, but it showed up right here at 115 because it had just peeked its head through VWAP. So I didn't get in right away, obviously, because it could just fail VWAP and you'd be done. But there's a couple of things that, the reasons why I like this. It was a nice, easy down. You see a couple, it looked like a little double bottom here where you see these little pivot points. Bottomed here, kind of came back up close to VWAP, went down again, bottomed again, and then started coming up, and it looked like buyers were winning out. So if you look at this 15-minute chart, this little thumbnail chart that I have, this is the 10 EMA. A lot of times that'll be the deciding factor too. If it can clear that 10 EMA, it can usually continue on for a little bit. And I like seeing stocks that are riding this closely, because then the break means that much more. It didn't do that. It was well below it here, but then it broke and it did actually move up. So I got in at I can't remember what time did I say it was, 125. So I got in just at the end of this candle right here, which was above the 10 EMA on this 15-minute chart. And also, as I said before, with the 8 EMA and the 20 SMA, when they cross, it means there could be a change in direction. That cross happened right here, right? Not a pretty cross, but it still happened. So I got in at 59.90, and you can see this nice little break of VWAP. Got in right here, and I wanted it to get to 60, 16, because I was risking. I think I got in at 90, and I risked about 15 cents. Maybe I think it was only actually 13 cents. At 77, at the right below this little line right here. So basically a 13-cent buffer, which means I wanted it to go up 26 cents, and it did just that. And I got out right here. I might not have taken all my shares out if it hadn't had this giant, like, really big candle right here with a lot of volume. That made me a little nervous, because sometimes that means there's that big surge and then there's going to be a big drop as buyers kind of just start to, you know, take all their profits and sellers start, you know, winning out basically. And so I got out all my shares here. If it had gone up a little more smoothly, I might have taken some out at my first target, and then my second target was about 60.30, I think, which is cleared. And then you can see this indecision doji right here, a nice yellow indecision doji with a little pivot point on top, obviously. I almost thought about shorting this afterwards, but I didn't. And if you had, you could have shorted it right here after this red candle. See, what this means is, if you have an indecision candle, that means what? At the start of this 5 minutes, the buyers tried to bring it up, or the sellers tried to bring it down, doesn't matter what happened first, because it closed right where it started, right? It opened at 60.37 and closed there. So it means at one point the buyers tried to bring it up and the sellers said no, and then the sellers tried to bring it down and buyers said no, but it had a higher wick at the top there. So basically you want to look at what happens to the next candle to kind of tell you what's going to happen. And that was a down candle, right? This red candle. So if you'd gotten on here at the bottom of this candle about 60.30, you could have ridden it all the way back down to about 59.90 or so for a 40-cent short. Then it kind of bounced off VWAP again. See how it's behaving around VWAP? Breaks through, surges, comes back down, because it hit also this 20. This is a 200 moving average on a 5-minute chart. So it's obeying all these things. It's breaking through VWAP, hitting 200. Which is resistance, coming back down to VWAP, bouncing. So there's a lot of number of plays you could have here. But like I said, I got out right here with all my shares because of this big jump. It did continue up, which was nice to see. I wish I had saved some, but I was happy with what I had. And then it started going back down to VWAP again. So like I said, I liked everything on this, from the 15-minute chart and the 5-minute chart, and all the EMAs were telling me that this was a go. And I'll show you also on the yearly why I liked it. Tighten it up. It was down a lot recently over the last week. Had one big up candle yesterday, but it gapped down here. You can see it gapped down. It was opened around 60.70, and it closed yesterday around above 61. So it gapped down, and I got in around 59.90, right? So it was right near, kind of near the bottom. It had gone down, and then it started to move back up. So a lot of the times you can see these little bottoming tails. Even with these down candles, they'll overextend themselves down as they're moving in a down pattern on a daily daily chart. So I said, okay, maybe it's overextended here at 59.90. It might start to tighten up and get a little closer to this EMA, this SMA, which is the 20 SMA. And it did just that, right? It's almost closing right near that 20 SMA. So I liked that. And obviously everything else was working. But yeah, this is the kind of trade that I love to take. I look for these every single day. The middle of the day is where they're money, because the stock has had time to form patterns, and like I said, it overextended itself and went all the way down to about 59.46 and started working its way up, and that's where I got in. So that's it. Yeah, so those are my trades for the day, and hopefully I'll be back tomorrow with some new trades to show you. I consider these good for new day traders, these trades, because like I said, I only risked 13 cents. Took 100 shares, that's only $13 you're risking, and with 100 shares you got over a 50-cent gain, so you could have made 50 bucks risking only 13. That's a tremendous risk reward. So yeah, I'll try to show you some more trades like that. These are the ones I look for, the low risk, and yeah, I'll be back tomorrow. See you guys later.